live and everything is looking good. And first time streaming on YouTube. Normally go to Ustream or Twitch or Facebook Live, but today's special. Today's a special edition of Maker Baker Man, an unboxing edition. Let's try that. Say that 3 times fast. Let's see if we have connection before we get going here. Oh, it does look good. I see that we are live. All right, let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Maker Baker Man, the special unboxing edition. We are looking at, wait for it, it's a very exciting day, garden hoses. I know, look, hey, I like to do gardening, and there's just a few things about gardening that really can be significant annoyances. If you don't have the right tools for the job, it's a bummer. And one of those tools is the lowly garden hose. And yes, my friends, today we're going to look at these garden hoses that I already have, and then a new one that showed up on my doorstep, a special present from my next door neighbor, who also happens to be my dad. So, without further ado, let me just quickly talk about 3 things that are important for a garden hose, as far as I'm concerned. The only things that matter for a garden hose, because let's face it, they ain't that glamorous. The first thing, please don't kink. No, cheap hoses kink like this. You know, you're walking across the lawn, you're trying to do your watering, and all of a sudden there's no water, man. And you're like, what's going on? You look across the lawn, 20 feet away, you see the kink. You try shaking it, you try to get it loose, and it doesn't happen. Totally frustrating. The second most important thing is how easy can you coil it? Does it coil well? This hose here, this is one of my old hoses. This is a great vinyl hose. I really liked this hose, but it kept getting kinks, and I kept having to cut it shorter and shorter because it kept being useless, and now it's too short to do my lawn. But it was a little bit of a bear to coil it up. I think you all know that wrestling match that you go through. In fact, for me, if it's hard enough to coil, I'm kind of lazy. I might not even do it. I'll just leave it out in the lawn, which if it gets in the sun and it lays funny on the ground or anything, or it gets a kink in it, it's really bad for your garden hose. So you're supposed to keep them coiled up, but sometimes I'm lazy. The heavier it is, the harder it is. I don't do it. Speaking of heavy, that's the third thing. How heavy is your hose? And when I got frustrated with these cheapo hoses, or the cheaper hoses, I decided I was going to up my game. I was going to be a man, and I was going to go out and get one of these farm hoses, and the kind of sort of octagonal shape, and this thing's a beefy monster. It can take on any farm duty that you might have, but it also, oh my God, it weighs 12.5 pounds without water. Oh my God, 12.5 pounds. I know this because I looked it up on Amazon. 12.5 pound weight. That's for the 50-foot variety. God forbid you should get it to 75 or 100 feet. You won't be able to lift that sucker. And once it's full of water, forget about it. So, there's a new technology that's been out on the market for a few years now. And it's the fabric hoses instead of the vinyl hose. It's made out of fabric. You all know the one. You've seen the commercials on TV. They expand, and they're very light, and they're relatively easy to deal with. However, they don't work particularly well. There's a few annoyances with them. They whip at you, when you fill them up. They expand really quickly and flap against your feet and everything, and the dog and small children, and it's a mess. The other thing is that they're not very durable. I had one for a little while, and the tendency is that you turn your hose on, and it would fill up, and then you got you got your water controller on the end of it, right? And you're turning off your water. I'm out in Southern California. We're in a drought. We try not to waste too much water, and but then it formed bubbles. And eventually one of those bubbles got bad enough that, just a weakness in the wall of the fabric, and it burst spectacularly all over the place, and it was DOA. So yeah, that was kind of an epic fail. But today, we are looking at a new product that promises to solve all of these problems. It is in fact a hybrid product between a vinyl and a fabric, and it is called, wait for it people, the Zero G. Can you see it? The Zero G. Now, this is from a company called Teknor Apex, if I'm saying it right, and it was an early birthday present from a dear old dad, as I mentioned earlier. And happy unbirthday, because my birthday's not till November. Presents, but happy on birthday presents, but no older. How about that? That's a good deal, as he says. All right, so the Zero G Teknor claims on the package that it's 50% lighter, check. It's tough on a job site and will resist abrasion, leak, and punctures, check. Kink-free, easy to maneuver and store, check. And it does not retract or expand, check. And that was really an annoyance of those fabric ones, because it was actually really hard to control. It was like a crazy snake, you know. Yeah. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to clear off my old and bring in my new. Oh my God, that thing's a beast. All right. Let's get right to the sexy unboxing. So I want you to know that I bought this, or it was actually gifted to me, as I said, about a week ago, and I have been waiting patiently to open this up. I've moved it around all around the house, and I thought, you know what, this is going to make a good video. So the first thing that you notice about the Zero G is the packaging is unlike any other. Now, as a former product manager, I can tell you that I appreciate a cool packaging, good packaging. I know I'm being marketed to, but I don't mind, because this, if it lives up to its promise, is a cool package. So it starts with taking it out. It's got this nice plastic cap on it. Got the cool, I want to say it's octagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. 8 octagonal, right? Yeah, right. Pretty good, huh? All right, so that's the packaging. It's pretty cool. All right, next, look on the inside. Looks all right. I want to just slide it out here. Oh, I can't tell you how excited I am about this. I'm going to lay it out. Oh, I can tell you right now, lightweight it is. And it's an interesting texture fabric. It's really, definitely feels strong. It's like a strong nylon, and I can feel it has a core on the inside that's going to be pretty substantial, it seems like. Let's take a look at the ends real quickly. Oh, I like this. They've got this nice aluminum, what do I want to say, connector, right? And we've got the female and the male here. And, you know, they feel light. They feel maybe slightly insubstantial, but, you know, the proof is in the pudding whether it's going to get cross-threaded or it's going to go on easily. I see it also has a built-in, it's got a built-in spacer on the inside here. What do they call it? A little washer right on the inside, so that it will create a nice tug. That's a nice snug fit on the faucet. That's good. And, you know, but it's brass on the inside. Looks like it's brass lined, and then aluminum on the outside. It's got the little neck protector here, which is cool. Of course, it's branded Zero G. Yeah, this looks pretty nice. It looks to be pretty well constructed. Doesn't seem like it's going to abrade too easily or come apart. All right, I'm excited. My dad got this for me because he got one next door, and he thought that it was really cool. And, you know, he knew that it was light, and that made it easier for him to drag around the yard. All right, I'm gonna switch over here. I'm gonna go to our hose camera. All right, now the real measure of a hose is how easily does it attach to my faucet. You can see I go two-sided here. I'm not really sure why I have this on here, because I don't really use it at all. All right, we're gonna put this on. Oh, nice. Yep, easily threads on. There's a nice grip on the outside here to allow you to grab it and twist it pretty easily and get it nice and snug. Obviously, if it's not snug, it's gonna spray and be a bummer. We don't want that. We don't want it to be a bummer. We want it to be good. All right, now, like a lot of cables that I get when I'm buying electronic equipment, it comes out all coiled up like this so that it can fit in that cool package, which would initially seem like it might be kind of a bummer because it's going to get some knots in it. But let's see if I can untangle it. Of course, this is a one-time exercise, so I really can't complain. But this will talk to us a little bit about, you know, how easy it is going to be to handle once it's done. Oh my God. All right, it is a little bit of a wrestling match here this first time, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. All right, let's get this sorted out. Oh, but you know what? It's really so light and easy to use, though. I like it. I like it a lot. Well, I tell you what, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fill it up with water and just see what happens if it doesn't work itself out. And I'm gonna go out in the yard, I'm gonna water some plants, that's what I'm gonna do. But before I do that, I am gonna put my wand on because I want that so that I don't waste a lot of water. Let's come back here, let's put the wand on. Put that on. Well, that goes on nice and easily, nice and snug, no problems there. I forget whether forward or back is on. No indication on this wand. This is a great wand. I've had a bunch of these wands too. This one's from Gilmore. This is a really nice one. Normally I would think it was kind of gimmicky to have all these different settings on the front, but in fact, I kind of like it. All right, let's get our hose straightened out here. Let's put some water on. Find out. There it goes. It's filling up, people. It's filling up. Oh, that wasn't very exciting. Come on, first time. We have flow. Now this is interesting because there are a bunch of kinks. Whoop, I do notice it's leaking a little bit around the handle. There are a bunch of kinks in the hose back here. And we are getting a little leak around the handle, which could be as much about the wand as it is about the hose. But let's put this here. It is getting rather stiff now that we've got it filled up with water. Let's see if we can't deal with that a little bit. All right, so now I've got it filled up, and you can kind of see that it does do that kind of rigid hose thing like the fabric hoses. It's not whipping around though, so that's pretty cool. All right, what else is going on here? I do have this to contend with though. That's no bueno, but this is the first time I've used it. So let's see, is it gonna unwrap itself? It's kind of unwrapping itself. All right, let's turn off the water here for a second. Let's do ourselves a flavor. All right, let some water out. I'll water my plant over here. All right. Let's see if we can untangle this guy before we get too crazy. All right, take the wand off. Wand comes off. I think my error was I really wanted to do this before I tried to use it. So live and learn, people. When you take it out of the package, you're going to want to unwind it first. Putting a little water in it did help though, actually. Kind of got it to lay out flatter. Let's go through here. All right. And my expectation is this is going to be a one-time thing. I'm never going to do this again because once I get it untangled, it should be good to go. All right. Actually, wow, that was surprisingly easy. Not bad. All right. We're all unwound. Keep our neck over there. Now, I didn't like the way this seated. It did leak. Why was it leaking? Let's see if we can get this tighter. Hand tight. All right, let's find out. Oh, my hands are all wet. All right. All right, that's pretty good, that's pretty good. All right, now you can see it's all uncoiled here, right? It's all uncoiled, pretty flat. Looks like it's just gonna walk out, come out with me. I'm getting a little leak again. Tried to crank that on tightly, but again, maybe it's more about the wand than the way it attaches on, but we'll work on that. Maybe I just gotta crank it a little bit harder, or switch out the little guy in there, little washer. All right, let's go out in the yard. All right, so here I am. I'm gonna bring this out across the yard. Now this is interesting. As you can see, I have a pool. I wonder if it sinks. I'm going to assume it will sink immediately. It should. The reason why it wouldn't, it's full of water. All right. Well, that was pretty easy though, I will say. That it does handle pretty well. It's not yanking particularly hard. You know, sometimes hoses yank, and that's no good either. No, it's easy to handle. The neck on this little guard here is sliding down. I'm not sure why that would do that. All right, get these guys over here. No water in the pool. All right, these little succulents over here. You know, all right. It's coming around with me pretty well. These guys, I just replanted these all on the weekend. Make sure these get a good drink. It's ironic that I need to give them a big drink because they're succulents, but I just repotted them. You can see the one on the top's looking a little flopsy-mopsy. Okay, well that was good. All right, time for the coil test. So it came around the yard pretty well with me. Didn't really get caught on things. It certainly didn't kink. I mean, that was the main bummer, right? No kinks at all. Here we have a tight loop, but as soon as it tries to kink over, it flops over and it doesn't kink. That's good. Now I wonder if it's, while it's on, there's less tension, but it's still not gonna kink. I can't even kink it and make it stop. Now there's gonna be some gardeners that don't like that. Gardeners, you know, they'll like to hold on to that and stop the flow. Not gonna work with this bad boy. That's interesting. All right, let's bring it back over here. All right, so far so good. That's a pretty good test. Definitely did not kink. Does leak a little bit from the handle, but maybe I need to tighten that up a little bit. It's also, I can see, not coming out straight from here, and I don't know if that's user error or if that is, you know, something that's a defect in this particular one, or maybe it's supposed to hang. I don't know. Doesn't look like it's going to create an issue necessarily, but all right, let's give it the coil test. And we're going to turn it off. Run out our water over here. I'll let that run out. Yeah, now I do notice that, like those fabric ones, they hold a lot of water, and it's slowly contracting, but it is not, you know, recoiling the way some of the other fabric ones did. And I have to admit that kind of bugged me. I definitely didn't like that. All right, I'm gonna take this wand off, even though normally I wouldn't take it off, but I'm gonna take it off so we get a true test. And I'm just gonna give it the quick coil. Here we go, it's the moment of truth. Of course I'm getting wet. You always get wet when you do this. But this, my friends, is a joy. Oh my God. Huh. The comedy of errors. You had to see me try to wrestle with that farm hose to understand how joyous this is. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, that makes me very happy. That's a little hose dance. It's a little hose coil dance. Because that was great. Oh my God. That was awesome. All right. I've got my home for it over here. Boom. Oh. That's what I'm talking about, people. That was the 0G from Teknor Apex. That was the 0G from Teknor Apex. It is kind of awesome. I have to say, I liked everything about it. Cool package. Came out, walked around, no kinks. Couldn't even get it to kink when I tried. And then the coil, and it was light. I could hold it in one hand. coil it up and drop it on my holder. I would say that this product gets a thumbs up from the Maker Baker Man. It is, has lived up to its billing. Lived up to its billing. All right, that's it today from the Maker Baker Man. I hope you enjoyed this fascinating review of the most unglamorous of home purchases, the garden hose. But this one is a little more glamorous than most, the Teknor Apex 0G. Go get it, folks. It's pretty cool. And it's got a 5-year warranty, so I feel good about that. All right, you have a great day.